Alright guys, this is gonna be like 6 or 7 or 8 easy beginner BMX tricks that you should learn first. So the first one is a rocket manual, and you need 2 pegs for it. Well, actually you don't. It's a lot easier with 2 pegs, but you can do it on like the axles of like what's hanging out. Fuck. So what you're gonna do is you get some speed, you stand on the back of your pegs, and you just pull up and do this. What's the word? Alright, the key to this trick is pointing your knees straight. If you keep your knees pointed straight. Okay, so the key to this trick is keeping your knees pointed straight, because then you can face forward and you're not falling side to side. So that's the key to doing this trick. And the faster you go, the easier it is. And it's like learning a manual, but it's a lot more easy and a lot more fun. Whatever. So yeah, that's a rocket manual. The next easy trick you can learn is a pull-up bar. This also helps a lot. So the easier to do it is you stand 1 foot on your pedal and the other foot on your back peg. So then you can pull up and you can be leaning a lot farther backwards. When you're leaning so far back from having your foot on your peg, it's a lot easier and less scary, so you can really watch it come around and catch it. So eventually, once you get comfortable with that, then you can just throw the bars. One thing you can do if you want to practice just throwing bars, there's fucking glass over my park, is you put your back wheel against anything and you just practice throwing bars. What helps me is I kind of put my hand in farther so I can really, I don't know. This helps me because we're not here. It's a lot easier for me to just throw it faster. I'm kind of hugging the cross, like the bend in the bar. So I'll throw it there. Once you get good with that, then you put both feet on the pedals and you pinch your seat in the middle, and then you can do a normal pull-up bar. That's kind of ass. And then eventually you'll be able to throw a bar like this. So the next trick you can do is a crank flip. It's kind of taking baby steps to it. So the first thing you understand is when you do a crank flip, instead of keeping your feet level, you put your one that you're kicking with up higher. So then you can actually scoop your foot and kick it around. Another thing that helps with this is having a loose chain. My chain is super fucking loose. It almost touches my my frame at both sides, which is really bad. I don't know why it's that loose, but fuck it, loose chain gang. To start with this is you don't jump yet, so you're just gonna get on your bike and just learn how to kick them around like this. And another thing you need to do when you're like learning crank flips is put all your weight on your hands and on your arms, so that you jump and do that, and then you'll jump and you'll kick. And keep your eyes on your cranks so you can tell like when to stop. That itself could be your trick, but after a while, when you get good at doing these, then you can add a hop to it. So then you throw a bunny hop with it, and then it's a crank flip. So the biggest thing with this is making sure you don't miss a foot and then get a fucking shinner, because it makes your entire shins bleed and it fucking sucks and it's horrible. So make sure you don't fucking shin it. So the next trick is just gonna be a manual, and it's just like the rocket manual, but instead you're just on your pedals. And the biggest key to this is really leaning back and imagining you're sitting on your tire. So you imagine yourself sitting on your tire, you lock out your arms and you really lean back and you just pump to keep yourself up. So this is what it's gonna look like. See, I'm leaning back far. Like I'm sitting on my seat. So you just lean back, keep your arms locked. But yeah, that's how you manual, and this trick comes a lot with practice because you have to learn the balance point. What the fuck am I honking? You just have to learn the balance point with it, and It takes a lot of practice, and that's how you can hold them really long. So the next trick is a 180, and to take baby steps doing this, you can use a pyramid if you have a skate park with a pyramid. So with this trick, you jump, you throw your front end, which would be your shoulders and your head, and you look. You throw your whole front end and look, and then you just bunny hop and you suck up at the end. But a thing to help with this is doing 90s on a bank. So I'll show you how to do that. So this is really easy, and you just you don't have to rotate the entire way. It's like a 90 really. But this will teach you the rotation and how to actually rotate. Just by doing that. Once you get good at doing those, then you'll be able to do it flat ground. You really just pull your shoulders, like your whole upper body has to rotate, and you look that way, and you jump and you pull your front end, and then the back end will eventually kick out when you keep looking. So eventually it's gonna look like this. So that's how you do 180, and that leads us right into our next trick, which is a disaster, which is when you do a 180, you land on the ramp, like in between it. So I'll show you what that looks like. So it's just like 180, it's just kind of more scary, but you could land in it, you could sit in it, and it's really not that bad. And another thing you can learn on that's easier than that would be doing it on the same pyramid with that little, it's a lot more mellow of a bank. So I'll show you what that looks like. So it's really the same thing as 180. You'll kind of feel it, but just make sure you suck your legs up so you can get your back end over it. But once you have a 180, that literally just leads you right into a disaster. And it's not any harder, I promise you. It's just maybe more scary. Okay, and another trick that I forgot to talk about. If you have a big half pipe and you want to drop in, you need 2 pegs. Okay, so it's really simple. It's you just kind of get in a comfortable position on your bike. You're not like stripping down. And it's as simple as leaning in towards the ramp and then turning your bars and falling through it. So it's gonna look like this. Okay, so just to recap, we have rocket manual, which is where you stand on the back pegs and you keep your knees straight and you just balance your way out. And you don't really need to keep your arms straight. You can like pull them in if you need it, but it's a lot easier than normal manual. Then we do the crank flip, and you put one crank higher than the other one, and you use your dominant foot to really scoop it and kick it under. The thing after that was pull a bar, put one foot down, one foot on top, and then just pull up and throw it with one hand, unless if you want to bust it, which is you keep your arm on it. I can't bust it around, but what I do, you just pull back and throw the bars. So after that, then you have manual. You really lock your arms out and you really sit on your seat. And when you pull back, you can almost just start leaning back, and it just takes a slight nudge for you to be on like in the balance point. And the faster you go, the easier it is. Then there is a 180, and you just pull your entire like top end of your body. You pull it and you throw it, and you suck up, and it will. You kind of look to where you're wanting to land, and the bike will come around. So you just jump really hard, pull really hard, throw really hard, and if you just do all that, then the 180 will come around, and it takes a lot of practice. Then you'll get the fakie, and then eventually you'll cap out. Then the disaster, which is just a 180 on a bank, and you go up there and you do it, and it's really not that hard. It's just as easy as 180, just might be a little bit more scary, but once you do it, it's a lot of fun, and it's a good trick. Bonus clip. So that's all I have for the beginner BMX tricks. If you liked this video and it helped a lot, then like and subscribe. And if you want to see more BMX content, moving to Hawaii, you want to see some shit like that, then subscribe.